So we work as part of a global team. So the way TECHNIA functions is we have a global marketing team and then we have local marketing throughout each region. So that's why kind of you guys at Bright were key in helping us to set this strategy, because it's the first time really as a business we've run a global campaign and then filtered it out through all of those locations. So the key to it all was, I guess, being agile and saying, okay, this is our key messaging for the event, this is what we're delivering and this is what we believe in. But actually for each of those locations there might be different messaging and different target audiences. So you helped us to create that kind of, as you say, multi-channel approach, so different messaging through different media.
I think the virtual event lends itself very nicely to agile method. The reason for it is it's a waterfall projects like the physical events. You know exactly, so you know you've been done many times before. You look after the parking, the traffic, the flight, I don't know what, you list them all and then you actually work through the time. But with virtual, we knew from the outset the uptake is going to be slow in the beginning and it's going to be high we go nearer to time.
And interestingly, if this was a physical event, if you were 6 weeks out and you had what looks like probably 10% of the attendees, you probably would have pulled the plug.
Absolutely. The agile term is really good because we were doing daily stand-ups, talking and changing tactics on a daily basis and driving. Hence we hit 2,000 plus attendees.
The quality of the content was kind of key. So we had a really strong kind of backlog of amazing video content. It was like fantastic presentations from our customers, from thought leadership. It's not just about what we want to tell the customers, it's okay, what should we share, what's helpful for them. The key thing in its success was the level of communication. So we had those kind of bi-weekly stand-ups closer to the end, so we clearly knew what the feedback was from the local teams, what else they needed. So like you say, with the social prospecting, like this is the messaging we're running to, what's working, what's not working. So there's that constant feedback where then you guys at Bright can respond really quickly. I think one thing we haven't mentioned is you guys introduced us to a great way of working, which is having teams, which includes suppliers as well. So we communicated with you, we communicated with our internal networks and really had that clear messaging. So again, it's all about building trust within our business and raising that profile. So we had clear communication internally and it really helped the project become a success.
Definitely for us, one of the learnings is working so closely together as a team. It's really been completely seamless how we have all been involved with this, and that we celebrate our successes together and mitigate any issues as a team. It's not like we're hiding anything. If we've come across issues, we try and work through them together. Yes, we were focused on registrations, but it was really about those attendees turning up. So there was different team members who were really focused on driving that high level of registration number, but also on that nurture program as well, continually sending out different comms, recognizing that a new virtual experience was new to not just us, but probably the attendees. So you guys, Junior and your team and Phil, were really working on creating those compelling videos that showed people how to use it.
Introducing agile marketing into TECHNIA, it has been a massive change. Like there is no more talk of like, let's map all of this out. Rather than looking so far ahead, if we go, okay, this is what we want to achieve, let's get started. And I think that's been a key success. You start getting in those registrations and then you can look further in depth and say, okay, we've got these registrations so far, how do we now get the next load of registrations? Doing this, we can say, this is where we've got to today, how do we now do better? So it forces you to measure and adjust at each point, and I think that's a huge cultural change within TECHNIA as a business.
The other thing was the reputation of marketing. Some people don't even understand what they do. So I think that put us on the map as well, where they can actually see digitally, we can drive the top of the panel and we can get thousands of people to the door. Then they can actually take that thousands of people and make something out of it, rather than marketing team or PowerPoint template makers. my prediction is local, small, compact, but then broadcasted. So hybrid is going to be the term rather than so-called overused, the new norm, everything is virtual. I don't actually believe in that, and I'm very much advocate of virtual and digital, but I think hybrid is the way to go starting next year.
As you said at the beginning, valuable content is always about the target audience. If you've got something valuable to say, brilliant, say it. But we do end up having people coming to us saying what they want to say rather than what their audience wants to hear. And in this situation, we definitely weren't doing that. So that was brilliant. Creating that agile marketing comms plan, the data-driven approach really allowed us to focus on what was working and what wasn't, and pivot the plan when we had the COVID impact, which did affect us even though we were already planning this online event. There was definitely some changes in the market based on who was available and furloughed and etc. in our target audiences.
We were adamant to have work emails, but then when people were furloughed, it's a simple change, but it's a huge change. Then we had to open it up for personal emails because people being furloughed. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly, which impacts your whole follow-up process and lead generation because, you know, GDPR, how do you do the consent pieces? So yeah, there's small things, big repercussions, I think, for some of that. And yeah, my final point was just about thinking big. You know, we did all gasp a little bit at the targets at the beginning, but it definitely brought us all together and created a culture of change, both within Bright and TECHNIA as well.